What is going on, guys? Thank you very much for joining me. How you doing on this Wednesday, August 3rd, 2022? I want to thank you for joining me here tonight for another metallic episode of Music of Destruction. Bringing you the most honest, unfiltered, opinionated content from the depths of the underground, like always. If you missed anything in the past week, click the on the upper right corner, bring down that menu. All the content you need to get caught up on is there on the #1 metal channel. You don't need to go anywhere else. You really fucking don't. Remember to hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. I would really appreciate it. Welcome to Album Ranking Wednesdays here on the channel. Tonight we're going deep into the underground once again, into the USA of Dallas, Texas. To be exact, yes, Texas being the home of legends Pantera, obviously. But we are doing a ranking tonight of an absolute modern crossover thrash metal legend with Power Trip. Now, Power Trip formed back in 2008 and are part of the new wave of thrash metal that began in the early 2000s. And the band were going pretty strong. They have 3 EPs, live albums, 1 split, a few singles, and 2 full-length albums, plus a relentless touring schedule that they took advantage of being accepted at anywhere that would have them, whether it was a bigger festival, smaller club venues, bar venues, community halls. That's the way you do it if you're a real metal band. You don't fucking have to play fucking Yankee Stadium or some bullshit anyway. Obviously, if you're doing that, it's all about the money by then, right? But this is a band that has had a lot of impact on me on many levels. I love Power Trip. I have to get to their 2 full lengths, obviously, because I love both of their full lengths, and I do love their EPs and their demo. But the full lengths is where I feel like they really came into their own. They had defined their own sound, and nobody out there sounds like Power Trip. Now, a lot of the influences that these guys draw upon would be bands like DRI, Suicidal Tendencies, Stormtroopers of Death, etc. That crossover thrash type stuff. And you can hear that in the music, but they also have their own unique identity within their framework and their songwriting that really propels them forward and keeps your attention throughout the duration of their full lengths and their demos, which I feel is a very cohesive effort by this amazing band. Now, unfortunately, we lost Riley Gale in 2020, and the band has not had a vocalist since. Okay, because their last album came out in 2017, 3 years before his passing. I don't know what they're doing now. I've kept my eye on them here and there, my ear to the ground with Power Trip, but I have not been able to figure out if they're putting out new material, what's going on with them. They're not touring, obviously, right now, and I think the loss of Riley Gale was a tremendous blow to the band. Rest in peace, Mr. Riley Gale. Now, the complete lineup is as follows. We have Chris Whetzel on bass, Blake Ibanez lead guitars, Nick Stewart rhythm guitars, Chris Ulsh drums from 2011 to present, Marcus did the drums from 2008 to 2011, and of course Riley Gale doing the vocals all the way up to 2020. Yeah, pretty sad. Miss you, buddy. All right, let's get into the ranking. Coming in at number 5, Armageddon Blues, released in 2009 on Double or Nothing Records. This is one of their EPs. This EP, I feel, is a very, very strong release for them. This is when they were still really coming into their own sound-wise, and they did a good job with this. There's a lot of memorable tracks on here, well, for it being an EP, obviously. And there's some very memorable hooks, and there's some great crossover thrash. There's still that hardcore punk element fully intact all throughout their albums, but on this one it was a lot more prevalent than the metal was. Though the metal was there, I feel like this one is a lot more of a hardcore punk meets metal, not kind of the other way around. But yeah, it's got some incredible visceral emotion, some amazing instrumentation, guitar work. The production is in the garage sound, so a lower end production is not super polished, but none of Power Trip stuff was ever super polished, but this is a bit rawer, and I love that dirtier sound. So yeah, this gets number 5. Coming in at number 4, the Power Trip self-titled EP released in 2011 on Lockin' Out Records. This is a really awesome EP, okay? This is like super hardcore punkish as well. There is some thrash crossover metal elements in here as well, and the lyricism on here is absolutely incredible. You can tell Riley Gale was full of piss and vinegar for all of Power Trip's releases. This is a band that sang about the state of the world, and Power Trip is an aptly named title for this band because they're talking about the globalists and the elites and all the control freaks who want to run our lives and how they're against all that. And this album, or EP, really started that ball forward. It started getting the ball rolling in that direction in terms of their sound and how it would evolve, including the lyrics and the emotions and all the songwriting. And yeah, this is a good fucking EP. Power Trip self-titled gets number 4. Coming in at number 3, the Power Trip demo from 2008, released in 2008 independently. This is just straight up hardcore punk. There is a little bit of metal in here, but this is like crossover to the extreme. This really reminds me of super hardcore punk bands like The Exploded, etc., etc. And this is some good stuff. There's some awesome short ripping tracks on here. For a shorter demo, clocking in at just over 14 minutes, it's pretty good, and it definitely is a standout for me, and it's one of the first releases I heard from Power Trip, and I don't have this one. I did have a copy of this back in 2008. This was before I was even on YouTube or knew much about YouTube, and unfortunately I lost the cassette because I saw them live in Winnipeg back in 2008 when they were first touring, and I managed to get a copy of this damn cassette, and I fucking lost it in a move, and it sucks. But yeah, the Power Trip demo gets number 3. Coming in at number 2, Nightmare Logic, the last full-length they would release in 2017 on Southern Lord Recordings. A very powerful statement. This is heavy, aggressive, fast, punkish, hardcore-ish, but it's very, very thrashy. And a lot of the lyricism and the emotions conveyed on here are extremely in your face, to the point, and aggressive, like a hammer being brought down for justice on the corruption in this world. And this album certainly encapsulates all of that, and they did a hell of a job with this. And I have to get Nightmare Logic because it's one of the other first releases I heard from Power Trip, probably the second or third I heard. And yeah, this is a fucking masterpiece of a full-length. Nightmare Logic gets number 2. Coming in at number 1, their debut full-length, Manifest Decimation, released in 2013 on Southern Lord Recordings once again. This debut, this full-length, took everything they were doing on the EPs and the demo and brought it together, but in a rebirth of sorts. Not like they were shitty or anything, that type of rebirth, but this just cranked up the thrash metal to 10. The hardcore punk is there, but it kind of takes a back seat on these 2 full lengths, but it's still there. The crossover is still there. That high punk, hardcore energy of hardcore punk is still there, but it's very thrash metalish as well. Very thrashy. And the amazing guitar solos on this, the lyricism, the bass is really nice and high in the mix. You can certainly hear that a lot. And I just fucking love what they did with this. The lyricism on here just hit me so hard. The emotions and the inevitable triumph for humanity against these evil forces of the world all over this album. This is a fucking amazing debut from a modern thrash metal band. And for 2013, nothing sounded this good in 2013. Like, you couldn't tell this is modern. It has some of that modern production, not a lot, but you think this was from 1987, I swear to God. Amazing stuff. Really reminds me of Suicidal Tendencies meets Exodus, if that makes any sense. This just absolutely mind-blowing. I love Manifest Decimation. I love Nightmare Logic. Their demo, their 2 EPs. Rest in peace, Riley Gale. You guys are fucking incredible. And when I do get these full lengths, they will be reviewed on this channel. Power Trip fucking rules, man. Rest in peace, Riley Gale. All right, there you guys have it. Another album ranking in the books here on the channel. Hope you enjoyed the premiere. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Merchandise links are in the description for Teespring, as well as bonfire.com/store/music-of-destruction. I gave my girlfriend my login information. She is working on new designs right now as we speak. She's also working on my new green screen set, my new logo. My thumbnails are going to be changing. The set's going to be changing. Up in the production value here. I take this very fucking seriously. I want to give you guys the best experience when you watch this channel. Join the channel, become an MOD Elite. Amazing perks at $4.99 per month. Very simple. Hit the join button and get access. You get exclusive content, review requests within reason, band interviews and promotions if you have a band, collaborations if you have a metal YouTube channel, and if you need help with thumbnails, tagging, getting your videos ranked if you have a metal YouTube channel, I will also help you with that, as well as access to exclusive Music of Destruction, the Crypt Underground Metal Radio Show live streams, which are members only now, as well as a live stream hangout I'm going to be doing with members only if I've got time. I'm probably only going to be doing that one once a month. I do have a full schedule. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you. We'll see you for Top 15 Thursdays for my Top 15 Metal Albums of 2004 Hills.